Once upon a time, Sandy Ozment and Kim VanPelt download their online romance and log into a real-world marriage.
It was like love at first sight.
It's a dream come true for her.
Oh my God.
They were a perfect pair.
You may kiss the bride.
But less than 2 weeks later, their love connection tragically times out.
Calm down. Sandy?
I don't think there is any words to describe the feeling that we felt.
I was speechless. I was like, oh my God.
I start crying, start freaking out. Oh my God. It was horrifying.
There was blood splatter everywhere.
Who do you think you are?
The case was being changed from a missing person to possible homicide.
For this couple, the honeymoon is over. In Tuscumbia, Alabama, Sandy Ozment can't believe her luck as she prepares to marry the love of her life, Kim VanPelt.
Yes, he's from Memphis. Wow, he's romance.
She seemed really happy. She seemed really excited. I was happy for her because it seemed like she finally met the one that was made for her.
The dynamic 40-year-old waitress is madly in love with her 43-year-old groom. Kim is a rugged Southern gentleman who treats Sandy like a queen.
She really liked him and kind of swept her off her feet with showing up at the door with flowers and cooking her dinners and things like that.
She was just head over heels with him. He gave her the world, set it on a plate.
For years, Sandy put her daughters first, setting her own lonely heart on the back burner.
She worked her butt off to provide for her kids and make sure they had the things they needed.
It's finally time for Sandy to shine. Kim is also excited about his next chapter.
It's so exciting to find love at 40. I think a lot of people think that as you get older, love will not feel as exciting and passionate as it does when you're young. But to find it's the same passion, the same excitement, can feel so, so good.
The two connected online, and within weeks, their virtual winks turned into the real deal. And now, Sandy and Kim see a blissful future together. But just 2 weeks later, a bitter chill invades the newlyweds' happy home.
My wife, I don't know where she is. She's missing.
Kim contacted the local sheriff's department. He was frantic. His wife, Sandy, had gone out that morning to run some errands. She never came home.
Okay, take a deep breath.
Honey. Oh, wait. Gotta give you a kiss goodbye first.
Oh.
She always called. So this was out of the ordinary.
Kim contacts Sandy's friends and family, but no one's heard from her.
It's very unusual for Sandy not to communicate with her friends, her family, to keep in touch. So when she didn't call, people started to get worried.
And by nightfall, her silence is deafening.
I really didn't know what could have happened. Maybe she was just out, nobody could just get a hold of her. It's possible her car could have broke down.
What happened to Kim's beautiful bride so soon after they pledged their undying love? Sandy grows up in a small town outside of Detroit, Michigan. She marries her high school boyfriend and has 3 girls. But their young love doesn't last.
When my parents got divorced, it affected her because it felt like she lost a part of her. She didn't esteem herself. But I knew it made her stronger.
Despite her heartbreak, Sandy makes sure her daughters are top priority.
My mom was involved with us in sports. She coached my little sister's t-ball. She played with her. She took Tara to ballet classes. She was there with dances for us, always there helping us get ready.
The single mom also works as a waitress. leaving little time for romance.
Sandy didn't really date a lot. She was focused more like on her job and her family.
We were starting to grow up, and she was realizing, well, they're not going to need me as much, so maybe I should find somebody for myself.
So in 2003, when a friend suggests Sandy move with her to Alabama, she takes a leap of faith.
Sandy wanted to move to Alabama to get a fresh start. She wanted to see what else is out there.
Her two older daughters stay behind with their father, but the youngest hops on board.
My sisters were still up here, and she did hate that she left them here, but they were old enough to where they could do for themselves. They had everything situated that they wanted to be in Michigan, and they knew my mom wanted to be in Alabama, and they had no problem with that. I went with her because I didn't want her to go alone, and I loved it down there.
In Alabama, they move into a new home, and Sandy quickly lands a waitressing job. It seems everything is falling into place.
I think being in Alabama was the first time I've really seen my mom being happy.
What's been going on? Nothing much. Have you found anyone new since you've been in this?
She was determined to find love again. She was determined to find somebody to make her happy, who she didn't want to settle just to settle. She wanted true love.
Sandy delves into the world of online dating, and it pays off. After only a few months, she meets a trucker named Frank. But soon after, Sandy ends the relationship.
Frank was always gone. He was always driving all the time, and that's kind of what really tore them apart.
She broke up with him because that companionship that she was looking for really wasn't there anymore.
And then another bump in the road.
I'm gonna miss you.
Just a few months later, Deanna is homesick and decides to move back to Michigan.
I still remember looking out the back of the car and just seeing her so heartbroken, like seeing her so sad. But she knew that's what had to be done at the time.
It's hard for Sandy to say goodbye, but she understands.
After me leaving, and even after Frank and my mom breaking up, I think that kind of made her a little bit more lonely, and she really did. She's like, well, now is the time. I can focus on one important part of my life, and that is trying to find somebody else that I can spend it with.
She hops back online, still hoping to find the missing piece to her puzzle. Just one state over in Tennessee, Kim VanPelt is another lonely heart looking for companionship. He's raised in the South with 7 siblings.
Kim didn't grow up in a very good environment. He says his father was abusive, his mother was an alcoholic, so it's not an easy environment to grow up in.
Kim is determined to create a better future. He takes control of his life and joins the Navy.
Oh, the military does something so well. It creates structure, it creates boundaries. And I think in Kim's case, this might have been something that he was looking for, if you will. He was ready to get out of the environment he was in and become a man. And he knew the military could make him a man.
Kim travels all over before leaving the Navy. He moves to Memphis, Tennessee, and lands a job in construction.
He starts online dating, meeting women in different websites, online dating services.
Kim did meet a woman online. They had a long relationship, but it didn't work out. So he put himself back online, back on the market to see if he could find true love.
In late August 2004, Kim comes across Sandy's profile and is mesmerized. She is just as intrigued.
I thought they were a good match because both of them kind of had the same bubbly, quirky attitudes that just kind of brought them together and matched them, you know, perfectly.
The two begin chatting, and before long, An online relationship blossoms. This pair has so much in common.
She likes to be outdoors and likes to go fishing, and he liked the same thing. They seem like they were perfect for each other.
Kim and Sandy have hit the virtual jackpot. But now Kim fears his luck is turned. At the station, he is worried.
She always answers her phone. She answers her texts. I don't know what's going on.
When you have a loved one missing, your mind goes in a million directions. You imagine every bad thing possible.
I remember telling Kim to contact me if he heard anything from Sandy or her friends. And I would contact him if something had developed on my side.
They tell Kim it's too early to panic.
Because Sandy had been missing less than 24 hours, it's not unusual for a spouse to be out and return later.
So police told Kim to stay calm, keep calling Sandy, and hopefully someone would hear from her or see her soon.
But for Sandy's loved ones, something feels terribly wrong.
Where is Sandy? Is she in trouble? Or is it much worse?
2 weeks after Kim and Sandy VanPelt get married, the new bride leaves to run an errand and never returns. Kim is beside himself with worry.
At first, I thought it was kind of an overreaction, that it's only been a few hours, so how are you gonna say that there's a missing person?
But as daylight fades, fear sets in. Sandy's usually in constant contact with her daughters.
The anxiety happened later on that night. The more I was calling the detective and, what's going on, calling her home, talking to Kim, still wasn't home.
To suddenly have a close family member or friend just sort of fall off the face of the planet can be terrifying. Especially somebody who's really consistent. This is somebody who is a mother. This is somebody who checked in regularly with, obviously, work, because she was never late, and also her children. So it would have terrified them.
Word spreads fast about her disappearance.
She just would not up and take off. That just wasn't Sandy. Something wasn't right.
As her friends and family wait for any sign from the missing woman, everyone prays she'll come home soon. Months earlier, Sandy's crazy about her new online match, Kim.
He was funny, kept her laughing, very, very nice to her, just very charming. I was happy she met someone, because she was alone down there, and she didn't want to truly be alone.
My mom told me he was hopelessly romantic, just all around a great guy. Everything that she was looking for in a man.
The more Sandy and Kim chat, the more they realize this is something special.
They were both outgoing, liked travel. They both liked adventure. He liked to go camping, so that was another thing she loved about him.
My mom said that he was kind of like her. He was just a happy person. He was upbeat.
Sandy and Kim went very quickly into a conversation cocoon. They were talking daily, online and telephone. There wasn't a lot of static or interference from anybody else. It was just the two of them figuring out that they were a lot alike, and they grew a bond very quickly.
After weeks online, they're both eager to finally meet in person. So on Labor Day weekend, Kim drives 6 hours from Memphis to Sandy's home in Alabama. She is excited and nervous.
She probably tried on 100 different outfits before she picked out the right one, because everything had to fit perfect. She was very nervous, excited, hoping maybe this would be the one for her.
She didn't know which way would it go. Would it take off right away when they met in person, or would it go the opposite way?
But Sandy has nothing to worry about. Kim is everything she imagined, and more.
When Kim walked in the room,
stunning.
She saw it. The thing she'd been looking for. It was love, really, at first sight.
Oh, I got this for you. Later, though.
He looked and talked the way that she always imagined her man would be. It was instant. It was an instant feeling of falling in love.
Everything just set her at ease. I met the guy that truly I've been talking to. Sandy had a great time with him. She asked him, to stay the weekend so we can get to know each other better, and things progress from there. By the end of the weekend, she did not want him to leave because it did feel so right for her, and she felt so happy and comfortable with him. He seemed just as happy as she did.
Sandy has been hoping for a love like this. Her heart finally feels full again. But now, the once bubbly bride has vanished, and everyone is panicked.
Not talking to my mom every day that's when you know something's wrong, because we would talk every single day, and there was no communication at all.
It's been a while. Guess I'll call it. It was taking my turns with calling the detectives and calling Kim. Given an hour or so, calling again. My gut kind of told me something wasn't right.
She's not answering. I'm really worried.
It's been 24 hours since Sandy went missing, so deputies begin an official investigation. They ask Kim about the hours leading up to her disappearance.
He explained to investigators the night before she vanished that he had cooked her her favorite meal of steak and sauteed mushrooms. He drew her a bath, and then they went to bed. Early the next morning, she got up to run some errands. She never came back, so he then contacted authorities.
Investigators have many theories.
They were looking at all possible angles. Did someone harm Sandy? Did she run away with somebody? Was there a missing lover somewhere? Or was there a cyber stalker from the days of her online dating that took her against her will?
We live in a very evil time where anything possible can happen to anybody at any given place at any given time.
But investigators have to start somewhere.
In a missing persons case, they start close to home and then work their way out. So was someone in Sandy's life responsible for her disappearance?
I had him in somebody that was close. Something just didn't seem right.
Newlywed Sandy VanPelt is missing.
She's never done this
Investigators wonder if she ran off, or even worse, was abducted or killed.
One thing I remember doing specifically myself was to enter Sandy in her vehicle as missing on the NCIC crime computer network.
The network goes out to all criminal justice agencies. If anyone comes across Sandy or her car, local authorities will be contacted.
They also broadcast her information on local radio networks, hoping someone may have seen something or knew where she was. So investigators contacted Sandy's daughters, asking them if she was afraid of anyone or knew anyone that would harm her, and the daughters couldn't think of anybody.
At the diner where Sandy works, investigators question her co-workers. Could someone there be the key to finding the missing bride?
Sandy was a local waitress. She was loved by everyone, so maybe one of her customers loved her a little too much and was obsessed with her.
Unfortunately, the co-workers don't know of anyone who would want to harm Sandy.
It just became a dead end.
But finally, a break in the case. The sheriff's department finds Sandy's car near a truck stop.
The car was located in the abandoned parking lot, less than a mile from the VanPelt residence. My thoughts were based on the location of the car being left there. It had been intentionally placed there, not at random.
Well, there wasn't much traffic through that lot. It was deserted, so whoever parked that car there, it seems like they didn't think that car would be discovered for a long time.
And then there's the field next to the parking lot.
We also had some concerns with the north side of the parking lot. Grass and weeds are so tall, she could be laying 4 feet into the field. You wouldn't have seen her.
Officers search the field, but Sandy is nowhere to be found.
Found something.
Inside her car,
It's a can of soda and a pack of cigarettes.
Sandy was a smoker, and she would never leave her cigarettes just laying there, so investigators thought maybe she was taken against her will, or she had meant to go somewhere for a short time and come back. Otherwise, she would have taken those cigarettes.
and in the trunk, investigators find Sandy's clothing, the same outfit she was wearing when she disappeared.
I really thought she was kidnapped. I thought somebody just came and took my mom.
I just knew something wasn't right. I mean, to not have her socks and shoes, that's when I kind of knew something was wrong.
Became very concerned that the case was being changed from a missing person to possible homicide.
No other signs of foul play are found near the car, but officers have their suspicions.
He indicated to me that whoever took control of Sandy VanPelt obtained her trust. Was she abducted by a truck driver? Did she have a jealous suitor who was mad at her because she had dated and married Kim VanPelt?
What if it was one of her jealous ex-boyfriends that knew or followed her?
I think we need to break up.
Sandy's ex-boyfriend Frank comes to mind. But Frank lives hundreds of miles away.
He was contacted. He had an alibi. Alibi was confirmed. So he also was eliminated as a person of interest in her being missing.
Who could have possibly harmed sweet Sandy? And why can't anyone find her? Just months earlier, Kim and Sandy are making their long-distance relationship work.
My mom and Kim did live in separate states. They lived around 6 hours apart, but they made an effort every week, every weekend to see each other.
And there's no limit to Kim's sweet surprises.
I remember her telling me one story about how he was supposed to be working and she got a knock on the door and he was there with roses.
Kim promised Sandy the world. He promised her love, happiness, everything that she's ever wanted. I recall Sandy saying, "I found my Prince Charming."
He was hopelessly romantic. My mom was very smitten. She was head over heels for him.
The girls want to meet Kim, but although Sandy's in love, she's hesitant.
She did want to get to know him better first to make sure that we would like him, we would approve of him, and just to see how it would go with us.
Soon, Sandy is asked to transfer to another diner, only 150 miles from Kim. She's thrilled and immediately accepts. She moves into her new home with a little loving help from her main man.
Kim helped Sandy move. He had a pickup truck, helping her carry like the big stuff. Sandy was just head over heels. Kim was so in love with her too. He used to say how much he loved her, he adored her. "You're my world, you're my everything."
At her new job, Sandy is welcomed with open arms.
She was real bubbly, happy, and a hard worker. The customers loved her. She got along with everybody.
On her breaks, she gushes to coworkers about her amazing boyfriend.
She said they laughed together. And when he would come into the restaurant, she'd sit over there with him, and they was all lovey and holding hands and happy. Kim would make Sandy feel that she was important. She was his number one, and like putting her up on a pedestal.
He would surprise her with all kinds of things, with coming home and having dinner cooked. Just little surprises here and there.
Kim would draw her baths for her at nighttime after she come home from work. He cooked for her.
She found her happiness again. She was feeling loved. Somebody was giving her the attention that she wanted and that she deserved and needed.
Ready for dinner?
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we go, guys, got a surprise for you.
After 1 month, Kim swoops in for the weekend.
Will you be Mrs. VanPelt?
Yes. And asks Sandy to marry him.
She was in awe. A very exciting moment for her. She was gonna get married again. She found her soulmate.
Oh my gosh.
She told me that the ring was beautiful, one of her dream rings that she always wanted. I was thrilled for my mom that she was having the life she wanted.
It was a big diamond. It had a beautiful band to it. It just sparkled, and she just lit up when she saw it.
It's gorgeous.
The couple begins planning their wedding. It's happening so fast.
She said that they were going to go down to Florida. We were supposed to be on a cruise, and we were going to be her bridesmaids. She wanted to be simple and sweet. She just wanted to be her, Kim, and then me and my sisters.
For them, it was love at first sight, and I was happy for her.
But just weeks later, the thrill of an engagement has turned into terror as deputies continue their search for Sandy.
We look for similarities to abductions, missing person cases similar to what we was experiencing. Nothing was found in our region that matched our profile we was looking at.
Investigators may be at a loss, but Kim has his own theory.
He believed that she met somebody online and ran off with them, that telling him.
Is it possible Sandy did leave Kim for another man and staged an elaborate getaway? Not according to Sandy's daughters.
My mom wasn't the type to run off with another guy. If she wasn't happy with you and she wanted to be with somebody else, then she'd tell you that.
Just to make sure, authorities look into her recent online activity.
They looked at Sandy's online dating history, screen names and email addresses and who she'd been chatting with, and no information came about that as far as a person of interest in the case.
It seems investigators have more questions than answers. Until a phone call comes in
Yeah, we got an emergency out
that
here.
leads straight to Sandy. After an all-out search for missing newlywed Sandy VanPelt, deputies receive a call no one is prepared for. A nude female body has been found 60 miles from Sandy's home.
Yeah, we got an emergency out here.
The body was discovered by a person hunting adjacent to the county road. She'd been beaten, blunt force trauma on her face and upper torso. She'd been suffocated.
Investigators fear this may be their missing newlywed.
They asked me if she had any marks or tattoos or anything, and I told him that she had a tattoo on her leg.
Authorities match the tattoo. It's Sandy.
I was numb. I was shocked. I didn't want to think it was really my mom. It's the worst moment of my life. I was in complete shock. Part of me knew it was coming, but part of me was like, there's no way this is happening. This isn't fair to me. This isn't fair to her. This isn't fair to my sisters.
Felt like a nightmare. Things like that don't happen to you. You see that stuff on TV. You see that in movies. That doesn't happen to you.
Authorities bring Kim into the station to deliver the heartbreaking news.
Kim, I'm sorry to have to tell you, but a body has been found, and it's been identified as your wife, Sandy.
I mean, you're positive that's her.
Kim became distraught, cried some, began to ask what had happened.
For Kim, I mean, he had been so dedicated to finding her. I'm sure a part of him still hoped that his bride would be found. But to have her be found in this condition must have been devastating.
Deputies have more questions, so they keep an emotional Kim at the station while they continue their investigation. How could Sandy's life end like this? Especially since just a month earlier, the happy couple is planning their upcoming wedding. Sandy wants Kim to meet her daughters before the big day. They make plans to visit Michigan and see the girls over Thanksgiving.
She was really excited. She was looking forward to seeing her daughters.
She couldn't wait to come and introduce the man that she's gonna marry to her family, to her kids, and show how truly happy she was.
Shortly after, Kim moves in with Sandy, and he has a change of heart about their wedding cruise.
Listen, I think we should get married. Like, this week. What do you think?
Really?
He suggests going to the courthouse and getting hitched right away.
She was hesitant because she wanted her daughters to meet him first. And then on the other hand, she was ready, to have the man she was going to marry and them to start their life together.
On November 8th, they tie the knot in an intimate ceremony.
She came into work and she said, I got married. And we was like, all just what? We was really shocked. It was simple. They went to the courthouse and that was it.
She sounded very happy. It was what she wanted. She was going to surprise her kids.
Sandy tries hard not to give away her exciting news to the girls. She wants to surprise them in a few weeks during their visit.
I could tell that she was happier about something, but I was thinking maybe it was, oh, well, I'm going to see my daughters.
3 days after the wedding, Kim shows up at Sandy's work.
Hey, what brought you by today?
Remember those insurance papers I was telling you about?
Yes.
She said that he had an insurance policy, wanting her to sign it. He stayed there probably about an hour and a half. He wouldn't leave until she signed them.
I need you to go ahead and read through it and sign it for me, okay?
Okay. Can I look
right.
at it?
Yeah.
And we started questioning her, well, why is he bringing an insurance policy up here to your work? I mean, isn't this something that y'all could discuss in private? When he left, we were just kidding around with her, and we told her, right then that she had better watch her back. She just looked at us and said, no, don't say that. She just laughed it off.
Oh, you guys, y'all are being silly now.
When Kim brought in that life insurance policy to the diner, just a few days after they got married, obviously there was a part of her that might have been suspicious, but he was also taking the role of a man. I want us to be protected, I want us to do the right thing. So it was confusing for her, but she still trusted her husband.
But over the next week, things start to get even more peculiar.
She had told us about a book she had found in his briefcase, and it was on how to change your identity. She was kind of shocked, like, what is this for? And that's when she started, not really talking about their relationship at home. We told her, you need to check into it, find out more about him.
At work, people notice a shift in Sandy's normally outgoing personality.
She didn't seem like she did when she first met him. I could tell something was off, but Sandy always said she was happy.
On their last night together, Kim cooks Sandy a romantic dinner. It's her favorite, steak with sautéed mushrooms.
1 minute, she's finding a book on how to change your identity. The next minute, her husband is cooking her favorite meal. Things just aren't adding up.
Throughout the investigation, it kept shifting back to the home.
With Kim still at the station, deputies obtain a search warrant for the couple's home. It's the last place anyone saw Sandy.
When they walk in, they notice the residence was absolutely spotless and it smelled like it had just been cleaned.
I've never encountered a residence that smelled that clean. It was too clean. In the garbage can in the kitchen, I discovered a receipt from a local retail merchant, time-stamped very late at night. The items on the receipt included cleaning supplies, stain removal, a mop, and the odor-eating candles.
Kim, I need to show you something.
Based on the discovery of the receipt and the fact that the home looked like it had been cleaned after Sandy's disappearance,
We found it in your trash can.
Kim VanPelt became the prime suspect.
Authorities find a receipt for cleaning supplies in Kim and Sandy VanPelt's home. A timestamp on the receipt shows the items were purchased around the time of Sandy's disappearance. Had something sinister been scrubbed away?
It showed intent to cover up the crime scene, trying to hide a secret.
And over at the station,
Kim, I need to show you something.
the groom has been acting awfully suspicious.
What is that?
We found it in your trash can. Tell me what happened the night that Sandy
I don't know. That's not mine.
He became agitated,
I don't know what that is. What is this?
not like the devoted, loving spouse would act.
I don't care about that. Just get it away from me, all right?
Kim, I need you to tell me what happened the night before Sandy disappeared.
The tears that he was shedding
Putting this off.
was not like real tears of sadness, more of an act.
Investigators have a strong hunch Kim is their murderer, and that he did the deed right in his own home.
Based on the discovery of the receipt and Kim's reaction when he was informed of Sandy's death, the probable cause affidavit was filed, which he was formally charged with Sandy's murder.
But deputies still need physical evidence tying Kim to the crime. Who bought those cleaning supplies? Video footage from the store confirms their suspicion.
The person making the purchase was Kim VanPelt.
Next, authorities spray the couple's master bedroom with luminol, and what it reveals is horrifying.
You can see blood splatter. You can see the stains on the carpet. You can see the violence they had incurred in that bedroom that led to Sandy's death.
At the lab, Sandy's autopsy results are in.
The undigested contents of Sandy's stomach were steak, sauteed mushrooms, which is consistent for the meal prepared for her by Kim VanPelt on the evening he last saw her. The undigested contents tells me that she died within a short time after eating her last meal. This discovery does not match Kim's story, does not match his timeline. His alibi for her being missing, running an errand, was all fictitious. Kim's lies were exposed. He was arrested and charged with killing his new bride, the love of his life, Sandy VanPelt.
The news is devastating.
It's like your heart is being ripped out of your chest when you find out who's doing it. It's like the one person that my mom relied on at the time. That was her comfort. That was her backbone. That was her sidekick, her other half.
The feeling that we felt, it was beyond outraged. There's no words. He took a person with a big heart and took her advantage of her.
In December of 2006, Kim goes to trial. His online girlfriend before Sandy takes the stand.
1 week before Kim married Sandy, Kim sent an airline ticket to his previous girlfriend, trying to get her to come back to him to reestablish their relationship. The ring that Kim VanPelt gave Sandy was the same ring he had given his previous girlfriend. She recognized it by the designer band that she had designed.
And then Sandy's loved ones learn about more betrayal. Kim has an ex-wife and 2 children. a family Sandy never knew existed.
I was speechless. I was like, oh my God, no. She did not know this. She did not know.
What brought you by today?
Those insurance papers.
Prosecutors believe that Sandy never knew the real Kim and that he used her to collect her insurance money.
Within 3 days of their marriage, he had her sign the life insurance policy, which set into motion a chain of events, which eventually led to her death. Kim was to receive over $200,000 over Sandy's death.
Prosecutors lay out what they believe happened. After her last meal and sometime before dawn, Kim attacked.
He was above her and struck her repeatedly and eventually suffocated her. Kim picked up Sandy's body, transported it in the trunk of her car to Marion County, Alabama.
Then he took that car and parked it in that deserted parking lot, and they think he walked about a mile home, and later that day, that's when he reported her disappearance.
It takes the jury less than 2 hours to deliberate. Kim is found guilty of capital murder and given the death penalty.
I think he's a monster. I don't think he has a heart. I think he's just cold-blooded. I don't think he has any remorse for us girls. He took our mom away.
My whole life has changed. I had the biggest part of my life taken away from me.
He took away somebody that never got to see her grandkids. He took away everything.
Sandy's loving memory will always remain alive in the hearts and minds of friends and family.
I miss her voice, the smell of her perfume. Me and my son, my sisters will go to visit the cemetery, bring her flowers.
I miss the I love yous. My mom didn't get to share my wedding day. I miss those moments that a mom should be there for her daughters.
There's not a day that she's not on my mind. I know somebody's looking out for me, and I know it's my mom.